WWE wanted an AEW star to join Bray Wyatt's faction. Plus, we have an update on Cody Rhodes' WWE return, and the reason behind Liv Morgan's title loss has been revealed. It's all in the wrestling news right now. So many people want to join my cause and follow me to a beyond that is much better than this place.
See, I saw the comments on the pitches video, and everybody was saying, "Oh my God, Tom can do a Bray Wyatt impression." But now I've heard it, I'm not so sure. Give it another go. Give it another go.
My brother, we're here to talk about not just stars from this particular constellation, but ones that class themselves as all elite who want to join my brotherhood.
Well, it's a solid 8 out of 10 for effort.
Thanks, mate.
Maybe a 4 out of 10 for delivery.
Would have been 10 in the Tokyo Dome, I'm just saying. Dave Meltzer's dropped the Wrestling Observer.
It was really good, Tom.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Meltzer's dropped the Observer. Right on his foot. He's all right, though. And then we picked it up and read it. Now, he talks in this a lot about Bray Wyatt and about potential names for the faction that we believe is going to be called the Wyatt Six.
A lot of teasers already. Dave's acknowledged the teasers of Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy, Alexa Bliss, of course, Liv Morgan, and Eric Rowan. They've all been floated about as possibly joining Bray Wyatt's faction. But he's added a few other names that sources close to him had mentioned. Who's he got?
So he adds the Dyad, the former Drake and Gibson. Shoes off if you hate that gimmick. Potentially as part of that. I guess if Joe Gacy goes, then you take the Dyad with you.
Yeah.
Potentially. Dave Meltzer also adds, well, obviously this won't happen. There was talk of Aleister Black for the group.
Ooh, that's definitely not going to happen because he's under contract.
It is indeed. But I wonder how far along that discussion got, because this is just me speculating forever, friend. But the idea that, Aleister Black had this sort of seemingly sort of issue with like whether or not he was going to stay in AEW, like some stuff behind the scenes that weren't working out for him. Mm-hmm. Do you reckon in all that kerfuffle maybe got an inkling that there might be something
maybe they saw there was a glimmer of hope and his name was brought up. I don't know. My issue here, I guess, is, and there are a lot of names there that I think would be a really good fit in the group. I'd love to see Rowan back. I'd really love to see Rowan back. There's a lot of people there that already do creepy stuff. Do you know what I mean? With a few exceptions. I'm really interested in seeing Liv join the group. I'd like Bray to corrupt people and bring them over, people that haven't necessarily done creepy before. One name that I saw floated about, who I thought would be great, was Baron Corbin. I'd really like to see him there as a big enforcer. And I can imagine a Rowan Corbin tag team actually being pretty good value.
Well, they set something up with Corbin and JBL, though. And I don't know whether... I'm trying to think when that was set up. Was that sort of in the Vince era?
It's been a while now.
It's been a while. And I'm trying to remember where that landed, because it'd be a bit silly to kind of tease this JBL Baron Corbin combo, which I think would still be money.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. JBL guiding the career of Baron Corbin getting him back to prominence.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good fun.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
But Corbin obviously is a name that has been linked with it quite heavily as well, amongst other fans. The Observer this week also reports there's all kinds of speculation regarding the identities of the Wyatt Six group, as we have discussed, and also said to be a long-term plan for the group up to WrestleMania. Rob Fee, who has been brought into WWE as WWE's long-term story director, essentially. Mm-hmm. So it's nice that he's already got a nice project to get his teeth into. Let's get Bray to WrestleMania.
He's smashing it so far. Very excited. I think there are a couple of possibilities. The most obvious one there being Bloodline versus Wyatt Six, or whatever they end up being called. I think a battle of the spook-offs with the Judgment Day might be an option as well. Every time I hear fantasy booking with Bray, now he's come back, it's always like spooky bloke versus spooky bloke or something like that. Two people who are a bit dark. I want to see him target someone clean-cut baby face first.
Well, maybe if you turned your little eyes towards 9 pitches for Bray Wyatt.
Done it for us.
On the Cultaholic YouTube channel, we've had a look at some non-spooky suggestions for Bray Wyatt's next battle. And Andrew is on form, Jack is on form, and I'm there as well. YouTube.com.
Doing his impression is brilliant.
Doing that impression of Bray Wyatt that is
I'm Bray Wyatt. Sounds like Mel B on
Yeah.
Oh, me cribs.
Were you scared? I'm Bray Wyatt. That's my friend Patsy Kenzie. Now, the USA Network have been commenting on what's been going on with Monday Night Raw, the terraforming of Titan Towers, courtesy of Terror Rising. And they say, according to The Observer, USA Network privately have been frustrated with Raw's ratings in recent years, particularly the period where the annual drop was so high. But they are thrilled now. I think they read too much into the 10 out of 10 number, or the 10th of October number, 10 out of 10 number. That famous date, the 10 out of 10. Yikes. Maybe didn't expect it. Although those nostalgia shows always work. The Wyatt thing's very hot as well. But on the whole, USA Network are thrilled with what Raw is doing right now. I think we all are.
Oh, you know what? I streamed it on Monday night. And in the past, especially when I was doing it during the pandemic era, I really didn't look forward to Raw just because of its length and the fact that, in all honesty, it wasn't that great. I loved it. I'd give that like a solid 8.5. I know some people were a bit disappointed with the DX thing. They expected them to do a bit more. For me, it worked. It was all right. But I just think it's a consistently really good show. I'm enjoying WWE's weekly product, which is something that I've not been able to say for a fair while.
The length hasn't changed, but if the build-up is engaging and you're enjoying the experience, the length isn't an issue. Cody Rhodes, let's talk about him. Cody has been away since...
Oh, like a willy.
That's very rude. Cody Rhodes is not like a willy. He hasn't been since his arm fell off during Hell in a Cell. What's the latest on Cody Rhodes?
It's good news. It's a lot of people expect him to come back at the Rumble, but you may not even have to wait that long if Dave's to be believed. Rhodes appears to be a little ahead of schedule in healing. He's working with DDP, which is obviously very good news. There's no firm date for a return this early, and even when there is, I would expect it to be kept quiet for a surprise pop. Originally, the idea of Rumble looked good, perhaps day one, since it's in Atlanta and he grew up and still lives there. Part of me is a bit sad if they don't do it at the Rumble, because I want Cody to come back at the Rumble. The pop's huge. People will be expecting it because they expect him to come back. But the day one thing would just be like, oh yeah, he's forget Super Cena. It's Super Rhodes now, and like, it's cool. It's really awesome when people come back early. So maybe we'd lose that return pop. We're just gonna get a day one pop, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that'll still be nice to see. It'll still be nice to see.
And then he should win the Rumble.
Oh, he should.
And beat Roman. I'm sticking to it. I've seen people starting to turn on him. He's not been on telly for a while, so people are going, well, maybe this guy, maybe this guy. No, I still want Cody. I'm sticking to my guns here.
For me, and I'm with you, because the image for me for WrestleMania is you get this gargantuan pop of Sami Zayn finally booting Jey Uso, and then Cody pinning Roman within like a minute of each other.
Oh, really?
Just
all that?
Sammy finally goes, son ya, bang! And then, Roman's like, what are you doing? There's Cody, da-da-da. Cody Rhodes slam.
His finisher, the Cody Rhodes slam.
Everybody looked at that and went, cool. The Cody Rhodes slam, his famous move. From winning a title to losing one, Extreme Rules on Saturday night just gone. We had an title change, and it was Liv Morgan losing the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, according to the Wrestling Observer, this is nothing that Liv's done, but more what they're planning with Ronda.
Absolutely. The idea is that this was to complete the long-planned Rousey heel turn. Whether this leads to a match with the now-face Becky Lynch, which was the plan for the 2023 WrestleMania 18 months ago, will become obvious soon. So we will see. I think it probably will. It makes the most storyline sense, doesn't it?
Do you feel good about us looping back around to Ronda versus Becky at Mania?
Yeah, I'd much rather that than Charlotte be involved in any way at all.
Where do you put it on the card? Because, I mean, there's a few variables already here. Roman and Cody, as we've just discussed. Rock and Roman. Now, Jack and I were saying this week you could have Cody, Rock and Roman on night one, and Roman and Cody on night two. But then that takes up both main event slots.
Yeah, totally.
Where Becky and Ronda could easily main event one of those nights.
I would be up for it main eventing. To be honest, it totally depends on the rest of the card, doesn't it? It depends what else is announced. I think it's a worthy main event slot match, but we'll see what else is announced. We'll
see what else takes place in the months to come to WrestleMania. It's shaping up to be an interesting one. Mainly because they've hired somebody whose job it is to make sure we get there with a sensible bit of storyline goodness.
Oh, don't give Rob Fee all the credit.
I'm giving him
Big
both.
up Triple H. He's the boy, isn't he?
Triple H is hired.
I'm joking. Everybody's
Triple H to main event. Do that later. More wrestling news throughout the day and across the weekend.
Oh, streaming SmackDown tonight.
Oh, are you?
Right, piss off. On holiday.
Nice.
I'm doing SmackDown tonight. So join me there.
YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live. Adam Pacitti will be watching SmackDown with you.
And Bray Wyatt this time. He wasn't there on Monday.
Yeah,
Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night for Bray and Adam and you. YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live. Get your lemons out. And more wrestling news throughout the day and across the weekend at Cultaholic.com.
Do the impression. Do the impression. Go on.
Love you, bye. Sound like I got laryngitis.